And I really, really am like, are we changing because we want to change as a people? Are we changing because we're being forced to change? You know, when it comes down to like the progression of like race and culture, there is a lot of conspiracy. There's a lot of conspiracy, basically behind it. Saying, different things such as we want to change because, oh, we have to change because we're being forced to change into this. We're being forced to do that. We're being forced to do this. We have to wear our hair straighter. We have to, talk a certain type of way. We have to dress a certain type of way. We have to do this. We have to do that. Where does it get, where is the line between compromise and self-inflicted, what's the word I'm looking for, bigotry, right? Self-inflicted bigotry, self-inflicted racism, self-inflicted sexism, right? Where are the lines drawn between compromise to be an American and to not compromise by being who you are culturally and being okay with that without someone telling you that it's wrong? I embrace who I am. And don't get me wrong, I see a lot of people embracing who they are on social media. Whether you a country boy, you coming from the swamps, you coming from the trailer park, you coming from the hood, wherever. Even disabled people are turning up nowadays. You hear me? All the people getting to it and doing it. You hear me? Trying to show you they still got it. You hear me? And I love that, right? So in our fight for inclusion, right, have we really lost our culture? Or are we simply upgrading it and creating our own culture as Americans? And what's wrong with being labeled as black? What's wrong with being labeled as white? What's wrong with being labeled as European? What's wrong with being labeled as Asian American? What does it matter? I'm just saying, at this point in life, it's 2024. What does it matter? I don't want people to know that I'm an American. No, I want you to know I'm an African American. You hear me? I'm proud of that. I am. But I also want to be treated as an American. That's me personally. But I'm asking that question because, like I said, everything seems to be so offensive. Everything is just so offensive. You know what I mean? Everything. And I just remember being on like social media during 2020, and it's like everybody had a problem with this, everybody had a problem with that. I was asking questions. I'm like, what the hell going on? You hear me? And it's just so much, like, so many people trying to find their identity. And we saw a lot of that, with the trans movement, in or between 2020 and 2023. We saw a lot of that with the trans movement, with them wanting to be accepted as, a lot of them wanted to be accepted as women or be accepted as men, officially. And so we saw a lot of that with, and it was very interesting, you know. And it got into some very hot water, especially when it came down to the restroom situation, because so many trans women, I think I'm saying this correctly, so many trans women wanted to be accepted as women, and I know me personally, I had my opinions about it, because I'm like, okay, you want to be a trans woman. I mean, you are a trans woman, meaning you were born male, and I hope I'm saying this right. What's wrong with just being a man? and saying I'm a trans. What's so wrong with it? You know. And then when you really start to break that down, it comes a time where it's like they can't just be trans women because of the bigotry. So then you relate it to African Americans. I just want to be an American. Why? Because I can't be an African American. You feel me? So when I ask the question of that, when I say that, where is the line drawn of where we compromise and become those Americans, right? But we can still be who we are without being labeled or judged. But yeah, that was just food for thought. All right, so that was Hot Talk Radio. I'll check back with you. Be great.